On November 18th, 2017, Hanagaki Takemichi finds himself with a bullet wound in the knee, staring down the barrel of Kisaki Teta's gun. He blacks out, but when he awakens, he finds Kazutora standing in front of him, and the finally free man beats up our crybaby hero for letting Toman become so rotten. Kazutora fills the clueless Takemichi in on how Toman ended up this way. He says that the violence of Kisaki and money of Black Dragon, another biker gang that joined under them, changed Mikey, so much so that he started killing the founding members of Toman. Kazutora takes Takemichi to Naoto, who has him arrested, and he finds out that in this timeline, he was the one who ordered Akun to kill Hina, though he didn't know the target. After a routine crying session, Takemichi once again heads back to the past, this time to solve the mystery of Kisaki's obsession with Hina. When he returns to the past, he finds himself on a bowling date with Hina, by chance, right next to 2nd Division Vice Captain Hakai Shiba.
He was the Black Dragon leader in the future timeline. Supposedly, he killed the last leader for money and took over.
Though after spending some time with him and his sister Yuzuha, Takemichi finds him to be a good guy, who looks up to his captain Mitsuya. On their way to the Shiba household, they run into the Black Dragon gang, and their leader is revealed to be Hakai and Yuzuha's older brother, Taiju Shiba. Taiju takes it upon himself to beat the Toman 1st Division Captain Takemichi to death, and is only stopped when Hakai offers to join Black Dragon if he spares his life. With Takemichi's new task being to stop Hakai from killing his brother, he decides to tell Chifuyu that he came from the future, and his partner surprisingly believes him. The next day, Mitsuya meets with Taiju and agrees to let Hakai leave Toman if he releases Yuzuha from his reign of abuse, and the Black Dragon leader agrees. Later, Hakai explains his upbringing in front of Takemichi and Shifuyu. His mom died young, and his dad was never home, so Taiju ran the household and handed out routine beatings to him and his sister. The reason he looks up to Mitsuya is because he also has 2 younger siblings, but looks after them and protects them. Unlike his tyrannical older brother, even when he promised to stop hitting Yuzuha, when Hakai offered to take her beatings, he broke the promise, so he's sure that he will also break his promise to Mitsuya. And so, he plans to kill his brother, and in order to stop him, the 1st Division captains ask for help from Toman to crush Black Dragon, but Draken refuses their request, being that they have a truce. Though Kisaki and now 6th Division Captain Hanma offer to help, and with a little bribery, they learn from one of Black Dragon's captains that the only time their boss is alone is on Christmas night at church. Thus, Takemichi agrees to work with the rotten duo until Christmas. On a walk home from school, he learns that Hina went to cram school with Kisaki and used to walk home with him, and she's shocked to learn that he's a captain in Toman. She says that the first time she met Takemichi, she was with Kisaki. In the summer of 6th grade, on their way home, Hina grilled some boys for torturing a cat, and Takemichi stepped in to protect her, though he got his ass beat as per usual. After Hina says that's the day she fell in love with him, and they head home for the day, her father introduces himself to Takemichi and asks that he break up with her to protect her from getting caught up in his gang's dealings. And so, on Christmas Eve, he does as her father asked, and breaks up with her, and suffice to say, she does not take the news well. The next day, on Christmas, the plan to beat up Taiju and stop Hakai commences. When they arrive at the church, Takemichi finds Hakai inside, and Taiju soon arrives, with no sign of resistance from Kisaki, Hanma, or Chifuyu, who were supposed to stop him.
Yeah, they tied up Chifuyu and left him. Kisaki just thought it was funny.
I just realized he did waste 100,000 yen just to do this. Hakai lacks the resolve to stab his brother, but his sister Yuzuha doesn't, who is provoked into coming by Kisaki. Unfortunately, the wound is shallow, and Taiju concludes that his little sister must die. But Mitsuya appears, and stands up for the helpless siblings.
Chifuyu called him before, just in case Kisaki betrayed them. And he did.
He holds his own for a while, but when the top 2 Black Dragon captains arrive, the situation becomes even more desperate. They all get their asses beat, with Hakai unable to stand up to his brother, as he reveals that it was his sister who had always protected him, not the other way around. Even with this pathetic reveal, the Toman captains stand up for him, and this gives him the resolve to finally stand up to his brother. They manage to hold on long enough for Mikey to arrive, but the beastly Taiju knocks him down with one punch.
He thought he'd heard Mitsuya's bike earlier, so he followed the sound.
Sure, whatever.
But the invincible Mikey rises and returns the favor with a lightning-fast kick that knocks the Black Dragon leader out of commission. As he stands back up, he calls for his 100 soldiers from outside to join him, but when he goes outside, he sees Draken sitting on top of a pile of bodies. With that, Taiju loses his will to fight, and his siblings appear to be finally free of his reign of terror. After the fight, Takemichi is taken by Mikey to see Hina, who knows about her father's interference, and after a great deal of sobbing on our crybaby's part, the two make up. Mikey then takes Takemichi on a drive and tells him of his brother, Shinichiro Sano, the leader of a biker gang who sucked at fighting, but inspired others, much like Takemichi. After a relaxing New Year's festival, Toman has a lot to address at their first meeting of the new year. Seishu Inui and Hajime Kokonoi are now the leaders of Black Dragon and decide to join under Toman, specifically under Takemichi's first division. In the next order of business, Mikey kicks Kiseki out of Toman, which flusters the usually calm and calculating delinquent, and Hanma, along with the former 300 members of Valhalla and 50 members of Mobius, leave with him, shrinking Toman to just 100 members. Soon after, Mikey gives Takemichi his first bike, the twin of his own, and attempts to teach him how to drive it, unsuccessfully. And with another mission accomplished, Takemichi takes a photo with his friends to mark what should be the last time he returns to the past, and thanks Chifuyu for being the best friend he's ever had. So, the date is January 10th, 2018, and Takemichi finds himself at Mitsuya's funeral. Oh, for fuck's sake. Naoto finds Takemichi at his apartment and tells him that in this timeline, not only is Hina still dead, but all of the major members of Toman have been murdered by Mikey, even Kiseki. On his table, he finds a letter from Mikey, telling him to meet at the place they spoke about in the Philippines, where his brother found the motorcycle parts. When there, he finds his old friend amongst the rubble, and learns about how in this timeline, he left Toman once it went down a path of violence, and then Mikey admits to killing all of his friends that made Toman what it was. Mikey says that when he first killed someone, he didn't feel a thing, and that he realized that he can solve any problem through murder, and so he asks Takemichi to end his life. Takemichi refuses, and Mikey threatens to kill him if he doesn't do as he asks, though Naoto settles things before anyone can act. And Mikey thanks him for releasing him from his life of suffering, then passes away in Takemichi's arms. How the fuck's he still talking? He was shot in the head.
The safety was on. He wasn't gonna kill him.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Takemichi returns to the past, again, this time saying he will not return until he's the head of Toman. Elsewhere, Kiseki and Hanma join the Yokohama Tenjiku gang, with revenge on the lunatic's mind. Then, a week later, 300 members of the gang arrive in Tokyo and start beating on any Toman members they can find, starting with Takemichi's school friends. Finally, Kiseki shows himself to the battered crybaby hero, wearing Tenjiku red, and announces the start of the Kanto incident. I sure hope this came out before Season 3 came out. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for some more recaps coming within the next couple weeks. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun jazz. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, and peace.